So, how do I find the motivation to read all these cool books? It's a great question. And I know a lot of people struggle with this. So I would be very curious what everyone else has to say in the comments about what helps them. But for my journey, in one sense, it's always been easy because this has been maybe my deepest hunger for my whole life. Books were the thing that made sense. And I would read them forever. And at some point it gets masturbatory though. You have to stop reading and start giving back and producing your own work and regurgitating and remixing what you've already read. But I still remember those first heady days when I learned to read and I could just go and pound through all this stuff and find what I liked. I'm seeing it in my 6-year-old now who's just starting to get there, and makes me a little sad because she won't need old Papa as much to read these books. But I still think we'll read a lot in the years to come. Um, but some of the things that help me is to actually get through the reading is how I structure the time and how I use it. I wish I was still commuting again because that was the best time for me to read. I've had some long commutes in my life on public transportation, and to just not have the phone on and not be able to look at it, I could get through a lot of reading each day. Um, the other thing that helps is the time of day that I do it. Last night I couldn't sleep and I woke up and I read for an hour in the middle of the night. And that's what Ben Franklin used to do. I doubt many of us can get away with that timing wise right now, but the old way of sleeping was two phases. You'd sleep for a couple hours, you'd wake up and you'd read naked in your living room like he did, and then go back to sleep. And that's such a great time to read. Your phone's not even on. I mean, I think for most of it's probably the phone is the distraction. Um, and the other piece of advice would be, just follow your gut and read the stuff that lights you up on fire. And read a couple books at a time. I don't think there's any problem with that. The only time I have a problem with reading multiple books is when they're on very similar subjects, but most books aren't. And so I think to have different things helps a lot. As well as the formats. I'm not one who thinks paper books are the answer at all. Audiobooks are an amazing way to get in your head. And the cool part is you can't stop an audiobook and put it down like you can with a physical book. Your phone's, usually the source of it. And that can help a lot to just keep going. But I think the main piece of advice is, like anything else, is just to do a little bit every day. Um, say you're going to read one page a day, and I bet that'll help a lot. I'm reading through the Mahabharata now, and it's 10 volumes. It's the largest thing I've ever read. And I'm in the middle of volume 2, and sometimes it's a little daunting to know this is going to be a couple more years of reading this. But it's by my bedside table, and I'm not allowed to read anything else before my sleep without reading at least a page of that. And then I read one page of it, and I get into it, and I, keep going. So I think if you told yourself to read just one page a day, it seems really accomplishable, but often it's going to turn into more than that. But even in one page a day, you'll probably get through a couple books a year. And just remember, it's for the fun of it. If you don't really like reading, I don't think that's that big a deal either. There's so many cool ways to get stuff into your head right now. But those are some of the things that help me to keep going with these books. And I'd love to hear what helps everyone else as well.